Hey, my name is Joanna and I'm a member of the circus collective Circo. We're based here in Valencia in Spain. We need your help to bring a social circus project to refugee camps in the Algerian Sahara Desert. We've been invited to participate in FestiClown Sahara, which is an 8-day circus and performing arts festival that will take place in 5 different refugee camps around the Tindouf region of Algeria. This is an event organised by Payasos en Rebeldía or Rebel Clowns, and they do not have the funds to cover the expenses of all of the circus companies involved. And so we're asking for donations to cover the travel, visa, food and accommodation of the artists. None of our artists are being paid anything to come and perform and teach every single day. So it'd be really beautiful to have the expenses covered and to make this a sustainable event that we could repeat. A few reasons why this event is really meaningful and important to me. I feel that it's a big act of solidarity to come and perform in the camps, and I hope that it will really create a lot of connections between all of the artists that come to perform and the people of the camps, and also through the media and content that we generate during the event, that we'll also be able to bring focus to the situation and elevate the voices of people who don't have the same level of reach with their voices on a global level. I'm also really excited to bring workshops to the camp because I think that it's really beautiful to acknowledge the people of the camp as also having needs in a creative and artistic sense. I feel like it's one of the things that makes the difference between living and loving your life, living in a thriving way, is having a connection to creativity, being inspired, and that's something that really inspires me. I also think it's really lovely to bring an event that has a lot of silliness and play and laughter into a place where people have really suffered a lot of hardships, because I feel like play and laughter and silliness is also an essential part of the human experience and a really beautiful thing to be able to bring. I guess the last thing for me that sort of feels really meaningful is sharing cultural exchange, because the people in these refugee camps are not registered as citizens in any country, and so because of that they don't have passports, they can't travel easily, they don't have the privilege of free movement that as Westerners we have. And so for me it feels really meaningful to bring circus shows and circus workshops to the camp, because the people in the camp can't just go out and go to an event or go to a workshop and receive that sort of cultural input in a way that we completely take for granted as Westerners that we can. And so I'm just humbly asking for anyone who has the economic stability themselves to go to an event or a workshop or a show from time to time to just donate whatever you can to this, so that we can bring these shows and these workshops to people who don't have that privilege or ability. The last thing I want to say is just that I really recommend reading more about the situation of the Sahrawi people. I've included some links in the GoFundMe and I really recommend that you read it. I think a big part of the injustice that people feel around this is that they've been wronged so badly, and yet nobody talks about it and nobody knows about it, and it's just not spoken about on a global level in any way, really. And so the more that people know about it and speak about it, also it just feels really meaningful to acknowledge what these people have gone through. So yeah, thank you for listening.